Okay, we live.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom, everybody. It is your brew Ban Shamayam once again, back with another one, and I got the brew with me right here. GFS Truth Be Told. Y'all should check out his channel. We're gonna probably check out one of the videos he just released uh today and let him do a little bit of describing on it, in-depth explanation. I'm just going to YouTube to make sure it's actually up.
It came up on my end.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, it said that you live. Shalom, shalom, everybody. Let me see. Hold on, let me hit the chat comments. So that way I can see the comments when they come up. but yeah, all praises to the most high and his only begotten son. You know what I mean? Yahweh Bamashim Yahweh Shah. All praises. To the most high and his only.
Okay, it is up. All right. So, yes, sir. So
You
we
ready,
wanted
bro?
to well, I guess we could give it a couple minutes, man,
All
to
the
see
people
if
come
some
in.
people hop in. Yeah. And then before cuz I kind of wanted to break down that we pushing to try to get people to go to the other page, the direction we going with that first. And don't want to just kind of say that to the air at first. So I'll probably try to. What you want to? We could look at something or something else before I go into that. Let me go to present, share screen. Okay, trying to think. Okay, so I kind of gotta go pull something up freehand and then go
Yeah,
to
you
it.
got to. Well, I mean, you could
Okay.
do it. You could do it in the mix too. It's just gonna, you know what I mean. You gotta have it already pulled up usually. Of
Okay.
which,
So let me go to your video real quick.
you looking like that.
Cause I gotta read my screen, man. And I gotta bend in these weird positions to try to read it. So let's see what we got. Okay, I know y'all can't see it yet, so I probably look super weird looking at the screen right now without y'all being able to see it. Man, let me see. Why is it making your video so hard to find? I was just watching it. I should go to history. I was tripping.
yeah, YouTube ain't really feeling me with the stuff I be putting out, brother.
Okay. Did you see the ring plane? I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. You know what I mean? I got to do a little bit more research on it. You know, man, I do a lot of research before I do. Just
Get
like
to
you,
talking.
before we even do anything. You know what I'm saying? I just don't
It
be.
it kind of looked like an alien little ship, man, and because it don't have no wings. It's just got that big ring around it. Kind of look like a little alien ship, but from what I found out, they done had it out for quite a while actually, and it works. They say it's the future of it does everything better than our current airplanes. So
It's been out. I think it's been out for like 10 years now. 10 to 12
yeah,
years. It's been out for a minute.
they trying to get their money worth out of what they got out on the market.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I found it.
Well, YouTube ain't trying to show it like, this dude here.
And I was looking for a short to put out today. So so I was doing a lot of flipping through. So I had so many videos on my history that I had to go through.
Man, you can remix whatever. You already know you good with me, dog. You can remix whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay, where is it at? to
Yeah, you got to get used to this one, huh?
yeah, for sure. It's not because the other one is so seamless. It's just boom, go to the whatever you watching
Yeah,
and
you're
boom.
used to it.
Yeah, this one, yeah, I
This one you
definitely.
got to pull it up. You know what I mean?
Probably it's probably best, I'll know in the head, so now I'll be able to pre-plan for this. I guess I don't know what that. Okay, there we go. All right, can you see it now?
Yeah, I can see it. You got to open up the screen though. Right, right. No, go to your right. Keep going. No, down.
Down?
See right there where the box is.
Yeah. Oh,
Where's your mouth?
this
Keep
one?
moving. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
you go.
But you can actually see this on your screen, so
Yeah,
the
yeah, I can
wives
see
should
it.
be able to see it too. Oh, okay, they can
Yeah,
see it. All
yeah,
right.
I can see it.
It will consider a slate of legislation to bolster our national security, protect Americans' financial privacy, and shield our financial system from the risks associated with the potential central bank digital currency or CBDC.
Unlike decentralized cryptocurrencies, a central bank digital currency is a digital form of sovereign currency that is designed and issued by a government and transacts on a digital ledger that is controlled by that government. If not designed to emulate cash, could give the federal government the ability to surveil and restrict Americans' transactions. This is not just alarming, it's downright un American. We've already seen examples of governments weaponizing their financial system against their citizens in China.
We need to counter China by being the best version of ourselves. This bill expresses that sentiment that yes, we're going to innovate and we're going to lead on blockchain and we're going to lead on digital assets, but we're going to do so the American way. And the way we do that is decentralized. We don't do this by centralizing it in a central bank. We can achieve the innovation potential of blockchain and the immediacy of payments and the frictionless payments future with what we did in July. And that is to create a regulatory framework for stablecoin.
Pause
Thank
it
you
right there,
very
brother.
much, Mr. Chairman. Unfortunately,
Okay.
Now, I want you to understand something.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are pushing for decentralized, so people can get a gist of it. Those are the
What
ones that's pushing for
you talking about the guy who just spoke?
the Republicans. Those Republicans are pushing to decentralize the CDBC, where there's no control, that the government can have no control over it.
Yeah.
They just want to decentralize. Now, the sellouts, like Maxine Waters, the
That
sellouts,
that's the
they are,
lady on the screen.
yeah, those people, they always been against crypto and digital currencies. Always been against it. But it's a power grab by having that CDBC.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You
Oh
will
no, I
own
get it.
nothing. You will own nothing. You will work 80 hours a week, 4 weeks, and you're only going to have one pay. If everything's 3,000, if your bills is 3,000 a month, that's all you're getting paid. I don't care how much you work, how much you will own nothing, and you will be happy. Now, watch what they say.
What I think though, this is what I think. I'm gonna give you my true opinions on this.
Mhm.
I don't think the new system is necessary. I think it's so what's so crazy about this next system that they're trying to create. And I know this is for people who tune in, this is what y'all be tuning in for when I go down my Bible streak. So you're gonna go down the Bible on this streak. I think the system they're setting up, the people inside it are gonna love it. It's gonna be the greatest system ever built, other than God's kingdom. But in their minds, it'd be the greatest system ever built. I think the wise would understand um, that it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like I think the basic universal income in the future they're trying to do with that, if they're able to pull it off, I think the idea is to pretty much change what you pay for through digital, control your obedience through credit score, through social obedience, and buy your peace. Pretty much like buy your ability, so you just sit at home, play Facebook Meta or play some game or whatever like little digital, we went into the technology thing before, right? So
Yeah, but
whatever
here's the
little
thing, brother. You
yeah.
can't. You got to look at it as it's more of a control thing than anything else.
Oh yeah,
Because
for
now
sure.
you have a social credit score.
Mhm.
So if
So
you
they
say
can
something that they don't
control.
like, they could charge you
Mhm.
for it. Anything
Exactly.
they could charge you for. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of people, even with
Exactly.
AI, when you look at AI, a lot of people don't even know that the IRS is using AI. So if you ever did or filed something wrong, give it about 2, 3 more years. Trust and believe, bro. They're
Oh
taking
yeah,
your
they're
whole
gonna
check.
be on people. Yeah,
They're
they're
gonna be
gonna
on
be
people.
on people.
You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So that's what people got to realize that the times and tribulations that we're about to go through. You know what I mean? That
Right.
a lot of people, a lot of people think that all skin folk are kinfolk, and you will see in this video that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. You will see. Watch, press play.
Well,
Watch.
see, I
Huh?
think though. All right, let's get it. But I think sometimes I think you're right. All skin folk ain't kinfolk, but a lot of the times it's just over money, man. People do anything to get
Bro.
rich.
Okay. Let's say this before you press play,
Yeah.
because you always moving the goalposts. Let's say this. Who spends $3 to $5 million to work a $230,000 job?
um, Nobody. I
They
would
do.
just hope not.
They do.
Oh, because they got to get paid though. That's what I say. It's all about
They
making
do.
money for them. Yeah.
They do. And then when they leave out of office, right? Maxine Waters, for example, she's been in office to decades.
Yeah.
So how's her net worth at 230,000? How's her net worth about $125 million?
I mean, because that's why that her job isn't the American people. Her job is to make money.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, look, she got snakeskin damn jacket on, so like, I get it.
yeah. All right. Well, as long as we're on the same page.
Yeah, that's why I was saying earlier. Like, I don't think it's like that they necessarily against Americans per se. Not all of them. I think some of them probably directly. I think some of these people are evil Satanists,
All
but
right.
some of these people are just money hungry,
All right.
just money hungry people.
Nah,
I get
brother, it
it.
ain't just money hungry. It's
Yeah.
an agenda. But I'm gonna let you play, and then I'm gonna tell you when to stop it again. I'm gonna tell you the agenda.
All right.
Republicans are marking up one bill that is not bipartisan. We do know that 130 countries around the world are racing to develop and implement a CBDC. What will happen if CBDCs issued by other central banks gain traction as a preferred method of payment in international trade transactions? Are we comfortable allowing the Chinese yuan or currencies from other countries to overtake the US dollar as the principal global reserve currency? Republicans are making baseless attacks against a CBDC that does not even exist. So with that, I yield back the balance of my time.
And allowing the Federal Reserve to continue doing what they're doing, literally recruiting and hiring people in the San Francisco Fed office to build a central bank digital currency, is the financial equivalent of allowing the Empire from Star Wars to build the Death Star, so long as they promise not to turn it on.
I'm struck by the hypocrisy of the advocates of cryptocurrency. They come in and they say cryptocurrency is wonderful because it's digital and it's high tech and it's innovative. And then they propose a bill, which, in the words of the ranking member, is an anti-innovation bill. And they describe the US government as Darth Vader. They describe any attempt to enforce American laws as the action of Darth Vader and the Empire. As Sam Bankman-Fried has demonstrated, crypto is perfect for hiding from your creditors. And while his body may be in jail, his money cannot be found. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.
Thank you. I just have some, obviously I'm opposed to this bill, but I just want to know what I'm arguing against.
The idea that this is
Yeah,
somehow
pause it.
going to help the unbanked is insane.
He don't even know what he's voting against, bro.
Who?
He just before him, you see, he like, I understand about this bill, but I don't understand what I'm voting against.
Oh yeah.
He don't even know what the hell he's voting against, dog. He's just there just to be there. Go ahead, dog.
Well, I mean, I think cryptocurrency is still beyond the understanding of those some people. Like the two Democrats you put on this videotape, they're both older people, and not very many people older people especially understand the concept of crypto. I think if they did, they
No,
would.
brother.
They
know that crypto is the place to be financially free and not stuck to the American dollar. And then they don't have no control over you if it's decentralized. That's the issue there. But I'm gonna tell you the real issue. But I'm gonna let you go ahead. I'm gonna let you watch. Go ahead.
Okay.
Because today people gonna get their eyes open today.
Saying, because when you ask the unbanked, why are you unbanked? A lot of it is because of surveillance capitalism. A permissionless system would be something more similar to Bitcoin. You could digitize it. And frankly, that's why a lot of people have been drawn in the unbanked and underbanked community to cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin.
I think one of the speakers for this bill said that people aren't banked because they oppose the quote surveillance state. People aren't banked because they don't have any money. It's amazing. The people who aren't banked are the people who don't have any money. I'd be willing to support this bill if it also ended crypto.
I think there's 2,000 stable coins that are out there right now. None of them.
So that one guy, he wants to end crypto.
Right.
Entirely. He just wants to look, let's just get rid of it.
Right.
Protects the security of American citizens' privacy. And when an American citizen puts all their information out in the private sector and it's available to 200 different retailers and banks and other governments, there is no expectation of privacy. That's our problem here.
Some of my colleagues gloss over the fact the whole reason they're collecting the data in the first place is the government makes them collect it. Frankly, if you don't agree to spy on your customers, you don't get to operate a bank in the United States. You don't get to operate a money service business in the United States. Essentially, get permission from the government to act as a financial services institution so long as you spy on your customers.
About 350 million pieces of evidence sitting over at the Treasury on private sector activity, these giant, enormous government databases, which have been hacked, both the IRS and others, Office of Personnel Management and others, do present tremendous targeting by bad actors.
My cousin helped me get a cell phone that is linked to a Chinese bank card so that I could buy anything. And I have to pass facial recognition identity verification, which is insane because all I want to do is just spend my gift card balance on this debit. I can't believe I'm doing this. I have to open my mouth. Oh my God. Terrifying. Oh, I once again can't buy anything.
Look,
Pause it right quick.
China designed a CBDC.
You know what she got to open her mouth for?
I'm not for sure to check her teeth or something. I don't know.
Dental records.
Oh yeah, that's what I figured.
To match her dental records. But go ahead, press play. The boy,
the truth is about facial technology is it's so weak because they say every person has 7 people that look exactly like them.
But they don't got 7 Chinese people sitting right
yeah.
there looking just like them. They all look the same to me. No
When
disrespect.
I mean the doppelganger effect. You ever heard of that?
Oh yeah, the doppelganger. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like they say, like for every person, there's
No.
another 7 people that look identical to you, but just somewhere else in the world. So they kind of like, what happened if 3 people that look exactly the same? You get what I'm saying? Like it could get messy. Facial
Brother,
technology, even though it's a very rare chance, it's still a possibility.
she couldn't get to her money because she was complaining about the situation over there. They stopped her from getting her money, bro. They surveilling like crazy. That's what really happened.
Well, I mean, of course they surveilling, but I'm saying we got
But I
facial
can't.
technology on almost everything people do now. Everybody iPhones they open up just because they look at them now. Like
Yeah,
that's
but I
kind
can't put
of
it on YouTube because they made me re-edit it. But I didn't want to put
so
that
they
on
wouldn't
YouTube.
let you
Yeah,
tell
they won't let
about
me
how.
put.
Well, yeah, I mean that is the future of what's coming because they got to correct what's going on. Especially you in this is my thing because it's great that we could have our thing. So like this is my thing. I'm gonna play the what is it called when you play the other side?
Devil's advocate.
Okay, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate on this side. I'm gonna give a little bit of light to on China situation. America is known for inserting our people into countries and overthrowing through the populace.
Oh,
We
across
go
schools.
right,
Yeah,
cool.
across schools. Yeah.
So like with that being our one of our biggest ways of attacking and being that is proven that it's worked over and over and over again with multiple different countries, we're even still trying to do it as we speak, probably to China too, but we know for a fact we're trying to do it to Russia. um this is like when you got something that grave of a threat and you got 2 billion people, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, but
China is afraid of its people. The countries are always afraid of their people. China
yeah, because
got
they're gonna
2
revolt.
billion. Yeah, exactly. And they
Even
and
here,
as
give it time. They're gonna revolt.
well, I
Give
think
it time.
here America is so smart. They're gonna have us fighting each other like they've been doing forever.
Oh yeah, because they got so
They
many people
they
bamboozled.
yeah, they're gonna keep the fight inbound.
Yeah, they don't like
Right
people. They
versus
don't.
left, black versus white, Hispanic versus black, black versus Hispanic. You get
Man,
what I'm saying?
yeah, and the list
Yeah.
goes on and on and on.
Yeah, that's how they're gonna keep it like that. Fat versus skinny, light versus
Yeah.
dark.
Vegan versus meat eater. Like yeah,
Yeah,
bro, it's
it's just
crazy.
anything. Yeah, yeah. Old Testament versus New.
There's New Testament,
Yeah, it's
you
gonna
know. Esau's the devil.
anything. Anything they could push to make us fight and go at each other. That's the goal. That's gonna be the goal. I mean, and wait until they do the draft and everything, which I think is coming next year, and really announce that we're really in this war. Because NATO's
uh
been bombing Russia. It's been happening the last 2 weeks.
20,
NATO's have bombed Russia.
2025
You
is
think it's gonna
the
take to 2025 till we
for
end
the
it?
draft. For the draft,
Oh, yeah.
2025.
Well, I think they'll
Oh,
announce the draft next year.
yeah, June. I think June or September of next year,
Yeah,
and then it'll be 2025. And I think it's
before they enact it. Yeah,
yeah before they enact it. I think it's
and give
3,600 soldiers a day.
yeah they're gonna give a couple people give some people some chances to run to another.
Country.
Hey, bro, come on, man. You know
Hey
these
man,
millionaires. It's gonna be like, look, son, you draft age. It's coming around next month. You need to figure out something. He's announcing it
they
next
protect
month,
it, brother.
son.
They protect it.
You
They
gotta
protect it,
figure
brother.
out. I'm not
Yeah,
talking
they
about
protect it.
just the government. I'm just saying people with money in general. They're gonna be sending their kids.
Well, the
Hey,
ones, well, we'll get into a little. We'll dive into some stuff after the video.
all right,
We
let's
will.
get it.
To surveil their own people, right? We don't have to do that. We can design a CBDC, the architecture of which is still under development. This is very, very new. We can develop something that will protect consumer privacy, to protect the privacy of American citizens. That should be the goal.
My concern is that once we build a CBDC, we don't have it today and tomorrow with our current set of regulators. We have it forever. Mr. Lynch previously mentioned that we could build a CBDC with privacy protections. With all due respect, I don't doubt that. My concern is that once a CBDC is built, there will always be the potential for it to be abused, regardless of how it's initially formed. And even if our current leaders were angels, once rolled out, this will endure well past the time of anyone in the room. It will continue to be influenced and changed by future leaders over the coming decades. I'd like everyone in this room to take a moment and just picture for a moment a politician they dislike the most in their mind. Now imagine that person and all the ill intentions you ascribe to them with the power that comes with a retail CBDC. It should send a shudder down your spine. I know it sends one down mine.
Opinion, with all due respect, this bill is an act of breathless stupidity. Breathless stupidity.
Well, my colleague in his description of breathless stupidity kind of puts me in a funny position to say I support this bill, but I guess I'm going to do that. You know, Chair Powell himself has said, he's acknowledged, I guess, that you would say that the legislation is needed to issue CBDC.
You know, here, when I say act of breathless stupidity, what I heard was you don't know the power of the dark side. So we don't really need to further explore the power of the dark side. It's evil. We should resist it.
The Constitution of the United States is unambiguous. In Article 1, Section 8, granting only Congress the authority, exclusive authority to coin money, regulate the value thereof, and of foreign coin. This is not an archaic provision or open for interpretation. It's a foundational element of our republic designed to keep such monumental authority, and emphasize monumental, within the hands of the people's elected representatives.
Congress created the Fed. We brought them into this world, and in theory, we could take them out. It is a check on the things they're doing.
Signify by saying aye. All those opposed shall signify by saying nay.
Recorded vote is requested.
Recorded vote being requested. The clerk will
Pause it real
call
quick.
the roll. This is the final vote.
I want you to listen to the names of the people that voted no. Now remember now, you know these people don't want crypto, but they so in tune to the CBDCs, you know what I'm saying? To the digital currency, to the central bank currency, right? Now listen to the names.
Of our markup.
Ms. Waters.
No.
Ms. Waters votes no. Mr. Sherman.
No.
Mr. Sherman votes no. Mr. Meeks.
No.
Mr. Meeks votes no. Mr. Scott.
No.
Mr. Scott votes no. Mr. Lynch. Mr. Lynch votes no. Mr. Green. Mr. Green votes no. Mr. Cleaver. Mr. Cleaver votes no. Mr. Himes. Mr. Himes votes no. Mr. Foster.
No.
Mr. Foster votes no. Mrs. Beatty.
No.
Mrs. Beatty votes no. Mr. Vargas. Mr. Vargas votes no. Mr. Gottheimer. Mr. Gottheimer votes no. Mr. Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez votes no. Mr. Caston. Mr. Gaston votes no. Ms. Presley. Ms. Presley votes no. Mr. Horsford. Ms. Tlaib. Ms. Tlaib votes no. Mr. Torres.
Members deserve to have their votes recorded, and the clerk deserves a little bit of respect. Clerk will continue.
Mr. Torres. Ms. Garcia.
No.
Ms. Garcia votes no. Ms. Williams.
Williams of Georgia votes no.
Ms. Williams votes no. Mr. Nickel. Mr. Nickel votes no. Ms. Pedersen. Ms. Pedersen votes no. Mr. Chairman.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman votes aye. Mr. Lucas, Mr. Norman, Mrs. Velasquez, Mr. Horsford, Mr. Torres. Mr. Chairman, on this vote, the ayes are 27 and the nays are 20.
5403 as amended. The bill is ordered favorably to the House. Pending, the committee stands adjourned.
In closing, let me just say that I don't understand why the pride and the patriotism does not guide us in how we see the evolving technology and new systems in the world. That includes, of course, CBDCs and, everything else that we're confronted with, that we have to make decisions. Cryptocurrency, we've got to make some decisions. 140 countries, and we consider ourselves exceptional. We consider ourselves the world leaders, and we're dragging our feet. What's happening here? Why are we not concerned about our leadership?
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? You see how many Latinos and how many blacks voted against it?
Yeah.
But they for the people though. That's why I said not all skin folk are kinfolk.
Well, I
You
think a
see,
lot of times, man, people just be being deceived.
power, man.
I watch it all the time where people believe in stuff that's not true. They believe they doing things and they can't see the full danger. You get what I'm saying? Like for example, it's almost like having adult children, right? Like a little kid. You tell a kid, get out the middle of the street. Don't go in the middle of the street. Look both ways before you cross the street, or don't go in the street. That kid about to go out there. The ball gonna happen. Go out there. You know what I'm saying? His friend gonna be
Yeah.
across. Something gonna happen where that kid's gonna be like, I'm safe enough to do it. Until eventually that kid witnesses what happens when you irresponsibly go across the street. And it's almost like I'm not saying so because I do believe it's some evil witchcraft sorcery stuff in our government, but I think there's also with my aunt being a congresswoman, you know what I'm saying, in Michigan. I believe some of them are just deceived, right? Like she loves Jesse Jackson, Al Franken, so like she hang on everything they say as if it's gospel, right? So people like that can get deceived because they only see the bright side of things and not the bad side. I'm not saying that for that lady, because that
You
lady,
see,
they presented all of the evil in that court case. So if the people couldn't hear the other people's side, that's what a debate, that's what that voting stuff is for. So everybody there should have been able, that's more political. Everybody there should have been able to at least see what the bad side, how it could end up badly. Like the one guy even pointed out, what he say? He said, okay, say not for us. Say it's not our generation, right? But say we will all die long before this bill and this bill will still be in place, right? That's what the guy was saying. So
mhm.
what happens
Well, the
after us?
CBDC will be still in place.
Right. And he was saying, what happens after us? So say you believe we can control it, but what about the next people after us? Do you think they could control it? You know how much power you giving them. And I felt like for nobody to even hear that, super, it's the Trump effect, bro. It's the same way they be like, you know what I'm
It's
saying?
very concerning.
Yeah.
It's very concerning. But also, you got to take into consideration too, bro, that everything only could take so much, right?
Yeah.
So your car, you can only beat on it so much. Your funding, you can only beat on it so much, right?
Right.
Drug abuse, you can only do so much drugs until your body collapses, right? So the system,
Mm-hmm.
how much you think the system could take?
What do you mean? Of what we're currently doing to it?
The American system, yeah. How much you think it could
Like
take?
how much longer could we keep living the way we're living?
How much can it take?
Well, I think that's the plan to begin with. I couldn't answer that because I think they've already planned to restructure the American system. And part of that comes with winning this war with Russia, and the other part comes with the
The,
digital currency that they're
the
creating.
restructure is capitalism, brother. Capitalism is out the window, and now socialism.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah.
once you overwhelm everything and you collapse it, it's done for, right?
Yeah.
$33 trillion. They did $3 trillion, dog, in 3 months. They did 7 trillion on top of that.
Yeah, that's true.
The housing market, the banks, The dollar.
That's true, but then you got to think, what if the feds are in on it? What if they're not saying the feds meaning like our federal police officers? What I'm saying feds mean the Federal Reserve people, the private bankers. What if
The
they're like,
Federal Reserve don't
okay,
got nothing to
great.
do with it. The
Well,
Federal Reserve don't even control itself.
but that's what they were discussing, having it being centralized versus decentralized.
And yeah, centralized through the feds, but you got to understand that the collapse that's happening has to do with the World Economic Forum. They want people to eat bugs and stuff like that, but they're gonna eat meat.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with government. It has nothing to do with government per se, like people think it is. You know what I'm saying? It got nothing to do with government. It got to do with the people that control the situation, right? Is that Ukraine, right? Ukraine, you seen today that they talking about they surrendering en masse.
Well, yeah, because a lot of them are untrained, man. Yeah,
Yeah, but
a lot of people don't know that first batch of that 500,000 hardened war army, 700,000, whatever Ukraine had at the beginning. Most of them people is either dead or unable to continue fighting anymore, dismembered.
bro,
You get what
they
I'm
got
saying?
done dirty in like the first 2 weeks.
So a lot of these people out there now, not saying they're all wiped out, they still got some of them, but a lot of people now are like new recruits. They just picking them up with a draft. People trying to run out of Ukraine and get away from the draft, and they getting you 3 weeks of training. Go fight the Russians.
Yeah,
And they
like it's
just
crazy.
slaughter. Yeah,
Yeah, they said on to meat slaughter. That's all it is, bro. Like
yeah.
at the end of the
Meat
day,
grinder.
this is what people understand, bro. Hopefully, people open their eyes. Hopefully, people start worrying about what's going on with other things and worry about how they're gonna survive. Because it ain't a matter if, it's when. With the immigration stuff that's going on, with all these people coming over here,
It's another distraction.
nah, dog, ain't no distraction.
I think
They got a new
think
era. They
about
got a
this.
new era of slavery, brother.
No, but think about this. On the news, the reason I call it a distraction, what's on the news all day now, right? Immigrant
Oh yeah,
problem,
New
right?
York,
Yeah. Shoot, even the lady in
Chicago.
New York came out and was like, look, y'all can't come here. We over capacity. The governor of New York, she finally came out and was like, said the same thing the governor of Texas and Florida been saying from the beginning. So
Bro, but they don't experience what we experience down here, though.
that's true. But
We
but what
experience
I'm
some
saying is like
millions.
they
This is only 30,000. We experience
oh yeah.
millions,
Oh yeah. I mean, but
hundreds of thousands every day.
I get that definitely. But I'm saying like, okay, the big issue, and then like the other reports about them actually dropping immigrants off, bringing them over. Our government, FEMA, along with the American Red Cross, actually shipping them to the border to come in a massive way. They are literally got camps set up in Central America and South America to get them over here,
Yeah,
right?
they got buses.
So
They got luxury buses bringing them and everything.
so it just seems like that is the distraction. You know what they haven't been talking about? What's been going on in the war? They haven't been talking about those last strikes. They barely discussed them that happened in Russia, right? Or that
Because
strike that happened last night in that area right next to Russia with the huge mushroom cloud that they said was a electricity hitting the gas pipe. Like, you know what I'm saying? From a thunderstorm hitting the lightning from a thunder. I think that's what they said, hitting it. And it made this big mushroom cloud right next to that area. And they're not talking about it because that missile that just hit Russia's Navy place, it would have been in Ukraine don't have that weaponry to hit them. That
they
would have had
don't.
to be a US or a NATO weapon. So they're not discussing this. They covering up the you get what I'm saying?
Bro,
Like
they bringing
covering
out
up
so many shenanigans so that you don't know what's really going on. A lot of people like
exactly.
don't even know that the life that they once knew no longer exists. There's no middle class, bro. It's either you're rich or you're poor, and
True.
you're upper rich if you're middle class. Okay. Now, excuse me, I even said that wrong. Either you're wealthy or you're poor.
Right.
Rich and wealthy is two different things, and people don't understand that. People controlling it, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? Gas would be
Yeah.
gas would be over here. I think I seen it for like 330 or
Yeah.
315, somewhere around there, right? 330, 315. Bro, when you ever seen the whole time you've been here, bro, usually it'd be like 179, you know what I mean?
Oh, gas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
169. You know what I'm
But
saying? So
I would
what?
blame Biden.
Well, I don't want to play. I don't play the blame game. I mean, we already know
I
what's going on,
look, man. When you
bro.
push
We
this
already know.
electricity and don't use the natural resources we got, gas, coal, and oil, and put restrictions on how much we could use our own stuff, I feel like
What?
that's what creates this issue. Because look, okay, so now the pool of people who were drilling for the oil, you know what I'm saying, is
It
less
shrunk up,
because we're right, and then we're
and they slowed
now
down
pulling
production.
more oil because we need it, because we're not getting, drilling and making as much as we once were. So
Bro,
it
we go
puts
through a
even
million
more
barrels,
of
3
a
million, 30
constraint.
million barrels a day.
Hmm.
That's what we go through,
Exactly.
right? The strategic reserves is depleted,
Depleted.
right? Um,
We limited the
Russia,
amount we could drill.
Russia just banned oil not to be exported. You know what I mean? To the
Uh-huh.
European Union, all right? But everybody else get oil from them. Saudi Arabia just cut their production. A barrel of oil right now, you still got an hour left. I think it went to like 97.50. So I guarantee you, before the end of the year, oil will be at 150 a barrel. So 150 a barrel, you're talking about $10 a gas here in Texas. So imagine California.
Mm, dang.
It'd be
But
double.
I mean, I I
There's
that's
no
what I
avoiding
say.
it, brother.
No, but that my point is, we never had to we this problem could have been prevented if we would have upticked in our drilling and in our work, and that would also created more jobs as well.
They
Versus
doing it on
cutting.
purpose.
Oh yeah, no, I fully get that exactly.
Why would they uptick it? Why would they uptick it? Why would they uptick it? And for whoever watched these videos, man, excuse me when you see me with glasses. They look like sunglasses and stuff like that, but those are special lenses because I look at so many screens and stuff like that. So it's not really sunglasses. Those are special made glasses for my eyes. But if you see me squatting my head down because the brightness of the sun and stuff like that, my eyes are real sensitive to the sun. So you see me like look down and stuff like that. Or wear glasses that look like they sunglasses, but they're not sunglasses. Those are special lenses. But that's what I'm saying, brother. Like we got to realize that it's a wrap.
Oh yeah,
The
oh
Mississippi,
yeah,
look at
for
Louisiana.
sure.
Louisiana getting salt water from the Mississippi because it's so dry. It's drying up.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like this is stuff, bro. We've been on here what 44 minutes, bro. We would need 100 lives, like an hour piece, bro, for everything that's going on. It's
That's true.
impossible. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know what's going on, or they acting frivolous about what's going on.
Well, I think it's more of this though, bro. I think it's like, not that people don't know what's going on. I think people don't care, or they feel like they might be limited in what they could do. And instead of
Well,
just doing whatever limits they can do to be as that prepared, they just like, well, my hands it up. I think sometimes it's habits over salvation, right? So like if you got a habit, you like damn chips and zoom zooms and zam zams, pops and
Oh,
juice, and
carcinogens.
that's what you spend your money on. And you're like, well, if I'd stop spending my money on pop and juice, I could buy more rice, maybe a couple shells of bullets. Maybe I go out and get me a 22 since bullets is so cheap, and I could get extra 22s along with whatever guns I already got. There's things you can do when
Man,
you
you have
working at
bullets
a
for days.
disadvantage. Right.
You have bullets
You
for
get what
days
I'm
with
saying?
22. With
There,
22, boy,
there's there's things you could
you get
do.
10,000 for like I think $200 or something like that, right? Like 200,
So,
250 bucks.
so you get where I'm saying, right? There's things you could
Yeah.
do to make up, but that requires you to sacrifice something. And it's the
Well, brother,
sacrifice that people don't want to make. In the time that it's getting tougher, what do you see more? You see people wanting more and more. They all want the gold chains. They all want the jewelry, the iced out, the new cars, the watches. They want to do the Deion
man,
Sanders. So even
that
as it's
freaking
getting tighter,
that
like I got a
freaking
neighbor with like 4 cars, bro, that's
these
always
dudes
shining. And we
these
stay in an
dudes
apartment.
yeah, these dudes be getting ganked on that jewelry, man, with them diamonds, man. That stuff ain't worth no money, man. They pay 250, 300,000 for them chains and them medallions, bro. That ain't even worth nowhere
But not
near that,
even
bro.
them. What about the young boys out there, the young guys, the young men out there with just the little thin rope, little, a couple
Yeah,
little
yeah. I be seeing.
and they like, yeah, I done spent three, four. They be honest too, like, yeah, I spent like 3, 4, 1,500 for it, and they proud of that. But that's what I'm saying. These are the things that we would have to sacrifice: some zoom zooms, some wham mams, some of the more like things we don't need. The things like I say, I feel like we feel like it devalues your body if you feel like what you put on your body makes you carry more value. Then you'd already devalue by yourself, right? We're more
Yeah.
important than anything we could put on ourselves. So you shouldn't feel more important because you got a chain on or nice clothes. I get foods can be comfort foods, but I think a lot of the times they don't want to listen because they feel like they can't do anything. And the only way that you got to make a sacrifice to be able to do something. Because unless you homeless, there's some things that could be cut in order for you to prepare for what's coming in some way or another.
Yeah, yeah, it does. You know what I mean? It, my thing is always our people that get the short end of the stick, brother.
That's
You know what
true.
I'm saying?
And what the Bible say? That there will never be
Hey,
another time like this, Far. This will
yes.
be the worst time that we've ever. My cousin said, "What could be worse than slavery?" I said, bro, we went through slavery a lot. I said, what's
Wait,
coming on the world, not having to eat your neighbor,
wait,
is
wait,
worse
wait,
than
wait.
slavery.
Wait till their stomach hit their back and their kids is crying and
Mhm.
see what's worse than slavery, brother.
Yeah.
You see what's worse than slavery. For real, for real. When somebody hungry and they get desperate, it's sad, brother. It's sad that it's sad, bro. And
You ever read the Book of Josephus?
yeah, of course.
Okay, so I just want to throw something out to give everybody a reference. If y'all haven't read the Book of Josephus, y'all should go check it out. It's not a biblical book; it's more of a historic history. It's
It's
kind of
it's
history
it's a
there.
historical. It is
It's
a historical
historical.
book.
Right.
It is.
So if you go read it, there's a part during the siege of Jerusalem, when Rome was sieging Jerusalem, where they talk about this young woman who got raped, right?
Don't say
Uh,
that on the
she got
great, 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 great,
great.
great.
She got graped, right? Pretty much,
Mhm.
they didn't start graping her at first. They really just wanted her food. Everybody was starving. This woman had a rich husband, I guess died in the war with Rome. And so she had a lot of stuff. She was rich. She had a lot of wealth. And this also shows the importance of having male protection. A man's role in the household because her husband had died. So the army was coming and eating up all her food because they built the wall around Rome. If you don't know about the siege, they built the wall around Jerusalem. and Jerusalem is like on a mountain, so we couldn't go down Jerusalem to get any food. So we were kind of just stuck up there with the food we had. So they were going in eating up all this lady's food. And eventually they started graping her, right?
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where the famine was so bad, make a long story short, and they had belittled her and done so much to her, she ended up having a baby. Now, after she had the baby, one of the guards who used to grape her and come in and get her eat her victuals came in after her and was like coming in to see what she was cooking. And it said that it smelled so foul because she was cooking her baby that she had with one of the guards,
Yeah.
and she wouldn't share her baby. Like it was almost like the little creature on Lord of the Rings who was like, "Get
Yeah.
away from this ring, it's
My
mine." That's how.
precious, my
Yeah, my
precious.
precious. My precious. That's how it describes her. It describes her like my precious over her own baby, saying, "This is mine. I created it. It came out of me. You cannot have none." And she was eating her baby. That's worse than slavery, right? So a lot
Yeah.
of people don't understand what's coming, and it's not going to be a in the whole colorism thing. I gotta put this
Oh
out. It's not
no.
gonna be a color thing. Everybody's gonna go through this, bruh. It don't matter unless
Everybody.
you one of the top 1% as far as wealth and financials and all of that. Like
Elite.
everybody
If you're
else,
not an elite, if you're not
yeah.
an
If you're
elite,
not in the elite class, everybody's gonna go through this. It don't matter if you're in
even
India,
I,
Africa. Uh,
uh,
you know what I'm saying? Like
even
everybody's
I
going.
fall into that category of, and I'm good, and it doesn't affect me as bad as everybody else, but I eventually will end up in that
Right.
uh, pothole too. Just because you got it, don't think that they can't take it away from you.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
And there's
what the
stuff.
video was about, right? The CDC system. If they
Yeah,
start CDCs, this is the question I
CDBCs.
feel like nobody answered. What happens to the dollar? Why didn't not one person on either side ask, if we start this, what happens to the, because you can only, the world support can only be towards one,
Well,
they had to choose. Are we going to support
the
the
dollar,
digital or the,
the dollar don't hold no weight, right? But the thing is, the reason why we ain't experiencing hyperinflation, from the research that I've done with the charts, when I went to 2008 to
yeah,
the 80s, all the way down, um, you're looking at, I can't give you a pinpoint. It's on such and such date. You get what I'm saying?
right.
But it falls on the 3 to 9 month rule. So either 6 to 9 months is going to happen from September. So it's going to happen in December. It's going to happen.
You talking about the crash of the US dollar?
No, the Great Depression.
You talking about the Great Depression?
Yeah.
Oh,
From the
okay.
charts, because you know I do charts because you know
Yeah,
what we be trading in and stuff like that. So we know how to read charts. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. So from what I
right.
see, it looks like from anywhere from 3 to 9 months is somewhere in between there. Hopefully not. Hopefully I could be wrong. You know what I mean?
But
Like
see,
I'm hoping I'm wrong.
I don't have it all like fully planned out like as well as you do.
Well, well, I don't have no
But
choice. I got
but
multiple
I do feel
businesses.
like based off of like my knowledge of history, it's most likely gonna start when the stocks start running.
The
When the,
stock's
when the
already running.
stocks when I mean, but you know what I mean by like running, like the boom comes back. Right now
No,
it's
there ain't
kind
no
of
boom.
like sideways on the stocks, but when the stock boom come back,
Man, the stock
that's
is
when
like
the
this,
Great
brother.
Depression gonna hit.
This is what people got to
Yeah,
realize. At one time, it was like $1 trillion and something dollars. It was like so many $1 trillion, whatever, of saved wealth.
oh yeah.
It went from I think $7 trillion of saved wealth to 200 or something $billion.
And it's supposed to be fully completed, right?
It's depleted.
The
It's gone.
American savings is gonna be
It's
depleted by
gone.
October 4th, they said, right? That's a couple of
Yeah,
days away.
October 4th. October 4th. Well, They say October 4th, but when I looked at it, because I try to go with like Jerome Powell and stuff like that, and I look at what he
Yeah.
says and stuff like that, it is going to go up to like 7%. They just ain't saying it yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're trying to avoid the crash, bro. Bro, ain't no avoiding it, bro. If they stop, right, if they put a pause or even they move backwards, it's hyperinflation.
Oh yeah.
It's
You
done
talking about
for.
like you talking about on the you talking about on like what we're paying and stuff. But I think their
Yeah,
counteract to that it will be to when this okay,
ain't no counter.
for
It's
instance,
done for.
when
Listen,
the
you ever seen these people that show economics and be like, oh, you're gonna make so much money this time, and
uh-huh.
you could buy the houses for cheaper, and you can do this and you can do that, and
Yeah.
you need to strike so you can get more money. It's done for.
Oh yeah. What I get that, but what I mean like is like this. According to like the history of the stocks, right? Every time there is a great recession or a depression or something like that that directly affects the people, not a stock one, but one, you know, the stocks go through theirs 4 terms earlier and then the country tends to go through it. But when the
Mhm.
country starts to go through it, the stocks boom. And the country tends to go through it and the stocks boom because of we know according to history because the companies fire everybody and the
Mhm.
investors
They're
make
already
more
doing it,
money. Right. But I'm saying at a we know the level they're about to, like you just mentioned the
brother.
Ford thing, right? We know the level they're about to lay people. We know me being from Detroit, I remember when Detroit laid off 90% of their workforce. So
I
like
remember too.
yeah, so we
I remember
remember,
too.
yeah, and I remember when Detroit was in a Great Depression, when the whole rest of the country was not even in a recession, you know, in the
Before there was
early
Atlanta, it was
2000s.
Detroit.
Hmm.
Before it was Atlanta, it was Detroit. That's what people don't realize. Before it was
Hmm.
Atlanta, it was Detroit, right? Here's the thing: the housing market is collapsed.
Oh yeah.
They fudging the numbers. The job numbers, they fudging it. All right. Um, Multiple people are getting laid off. I'll give you a perfect example. Let's look at Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas is a perfect place. Uh, I've seen this burger joint, but no people. It's just a building with a menu. And I'm like, you see the smoker going, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how the hell are these people working in there? My man, like, nah, dog. He said, that shit all AI. I like, bro, get out of here, bro. You lying to me. He said, for real. I don't consume meat. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
He like, yo, it's all AI. I'm like, man, you lying to me, dog. You gotta be lying to me. He like, nah, dog. Well, excuse me, I do consume meat because I eat eggs. I don't know if people understand that. Because sometimes you say you don't consume meat, but you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
eggs. I guess eggs is meat. You know what I mean? I guess because they before they become chickens. But I'm sitting there and
Protein.
shit. Huh?
It's like, yeah, because it's protein.
Yeah, it's protein.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, bro. We go up to the thing. He orders a burger. It's all AI, right? Like the other video I did with the AI.
Yeah.
But that video from the AI computer, that's like 6 months ago. This shit reading everything you saying how you want it. They had this computer there, and it's whatever you're saying, and then the AI responds back to you. And if
Oh,
it doesn't
okay.
recognize what you say, it says, I don't recognize. So then we go in there. Well, it's a drive-through thing. The shit's like he puts his card. If you put the cash, you can put the cash in the thing. And it's like the bank. You know how you take the cash and you put it in the ATM in
Yeah.
the bank? It's like
Yeah.
that, right? If you do cash, or you can put your card on it, boom, and it scans it. You don't gotta put it's chip. Bro, the shit come out, boom, in a bag and everything. I said, bro, this building gotta cost, you know, $3-4 million. Man, I started doing the research on it, on how to open a burger joint, all based off of AI. It's $45,000 for them to set up their system, and then $3,500 a month. What do I need people to work for me?
Yeah, that's true.
It's the same thing with trucks, right? What I told you the other day, bro, they come out with those self-driving trucks. It don't hurt me at all. It don't hurt
Right.
me at all. It's gonna hurt the people that work for me, but it don't hurt me at all per se.
Right.
Why? I could sit there, right? I could buy 100 of them jokers. Hey man, I don't gotta pay for no diesel.
Mm-hmm.
They could cost
Lower
$500,000.
maintenance.
Lower maintenance, bro. They could cost $500,000 a piece. It don't make me no difference.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still gonna be able to make money off of it.
That's
But
true.
the average person is not gonna be able to make money off of it. You see what I'm saying? It's like the same thing with Gavin Newsom with that law he passed. You know what I mean? With the law he vetoed. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I'm just hoping that people open their eyes, man, and uh one thing people can't say about a specific certain groups of people, but they own it. And we're not.
It's true.
And you gotta open your eyes, man.
That's true.
It's all good. You want to do this, you want to do that. That's all good, man. I love all of y'all, but at the end of the day, um, there's stuff that we talk about that we can't even bring on social media. You already know, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that. And we still doing little things here and there, doing little sneak jabs, but doing it passively. You know what I'm saying? So, um, man, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be very rough. So prepare yourself, man. If you can stack a little bit of money, a little bit of food, a little bit of water, you know what I mean? If you got people that think like you know,
Link up. Make sure you know who you. The Bible says,
yeah,
why go to your brother when your neighbor is right next door? Like if you was in need, why go to your brother when you could have went to your neighbor's house? Make sure you know who like-minded in your direct
yeah,
area, and y'all can stock up together. They could get some
yeah,
beans, you get the rice. Somebody
and come
else
up with
might who got a deep freezer could have the actual meat
the
that'll be on
meat.
the. Yeah, just work together. Everybody do what they can. Some
Yeah,
and
try to
you
work.
know.
Yeah, try to work as one, man, and train. Be in shape. I'm telling you.
I can't do that with the back, but God willing, He gonna get my back
Yeah,
together.
but you're right. But you're right here.
Yeah,
That don't even count.
but
You know what I
but
mean?
we can't really discuss it. I don't feel comfortable discussing it yet. But me and the brew right here, we working on something, and whenever we can discuss it with y'all, like in more in depth, it's something major that we hoping will inspire people to do likewise, and hopefully inspire people to hopefully create that safe environment for each other. You know, care
Yeah,
about
safe
each
havens,
other,
safe
keep the
havens.
laws.
Yeah,
Yeah.
safe havens. Now here's the thing that people don't understand. Me and this brother have two different doctrines. And we still love each other, man. We talk to each other damn near every day, man.
Mm-hmm.
Let go of them egos, man. It's time for everybody to get together. It's time for, you know what I mean, Israel to love each other, man. Let's stop all the ego tripping and all that, man. Let's love each other and do that works, you know what I mean, of the Most High
Mm-hmm.
and the Son. And let's help out, let's really help people. Somehow people we can't help, you know what I mean? But let's just help people in general, man, and let the
Yeah.
Most High bless us. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, and
all
I
that.
mean because the thing is like this, man. Like I was talking to a white guy, man. Happened to be one of the disgruntled ones. I think he was more ignorant than like just flat out or one of those types. You get what I'm saying? Think he was
Mhm.
just more lacking the knowledge. But when I broke down to him, I said, "You're not." you might point out our issues, and you always on the internet pointing out us, my people, whatever, whatever. I'm a defender of the brews, so I'm on this head. But I'm like, the real issue is that your bank account, the money in your bank account has been degraded. Because he was talking about us degrading women in music, and I got a problem with that too, and degrading us in general. I got a problem with us degrading us
Well,
in general.
well,
So my response
well.
was,
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna break that
you
down to you.
just
But go ahead.
like I told him, you just frustrated because your bank account, yeah, and the money you used to be able to buy, the thing you used to be able to have, that's being degraded. Your lifestyle, what you used to being able to do, is being degraded. Your value, how America looks at you as a white man in America's, is being degraded. And like I told him, that don't have nothing to do with my people. We're not the ones degrading your life. It's the country. Our lives have been being degraded the entire time. They literally take 10% of our people, 13% of our people, and flood the TV with them, flood the internet with them. And then the rest of the 87, 88% of our people, that's average, everyday, hardworking, good folks, tend to not be the ones being shown. So people will look at us based off the 13%, as if every person you see is in a gang. Or, you know, or
Well, again, you talk about what 60% of the violent crime and stuff like that is done by blacks, but they're only 13% of the population
Mhm.
and stuff like that. But here's the thing: what they don't tell you is that on my license it says that I'm black, and I am from Puerto Rican descent.
Mhm.
Don't say Hispanic. Whenever you see on my paperwork, it says Hispanic, black.
Mhm.
So I'm not the only Hispanic that's categorized like that, or Latino, or I'm not the only one categorized like that. So you know that when you see them stats, you got to take them with a grain of salt. Another thing is, um, you know how I felt about that situation when other people talk about black issues or Latino issues. You know what I mean? That ain't going down with me, bro. You do that in my face, bro, I'll probably get locked up. You know what I mean? But the issue is what a lot of people don't want to admit to, and the stuff that you see right now with the drill music and the gang and disrespecting the dead. That was an agenda that was pushed. I think it was like 1990, 88, 1990, when they had like 500 correctional facilities, and now they got over 1,500 private correctional facilities now.
That's something not talked about, man. That's something
That,
you
that,
just
that,
hit
that,
on something. Like, America is the biggest prison country on the planet, and we fill up the
yeah,
prison.
multi-million-dollar business. They push that shit through the music and all that because you know words. It says it in the Bible. You know what I mean?
I
So
mean, you know it's bad when people from Canada and, and Central America is like, dang, I didn't know y'all lock up that
bro,
many people.
remember when they wanted to ban? Well, you probably too young to remember that, but they wanted to ban Two Life Crew. You remember Two Life Crew
Oh
with
yeah,
Uncle
I
Luke
remember. Uh huh.
banned in the USA?
Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Okay. Then they started seeing how NWA. You know how everybody was getting on special ed because of NWA, but they
Yeah.
like kind of clipped it. But here's the thing about NWA. NWA brought gangster rap basically, and that influenced a lot of people to bring their so-called thugged out side. It happened to me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I grew up in the projects, and now I happen to be one of them people that used to be like that too. So we glorify these things and
Mhm.
thinking like it's culture. But like if you say something, they be like, oh, that's black culture. You can't speak on that. Bro, that ain't black culture because black people don't even know their culture, because if they knew their culture, they'd be sitting there, you know what I mean, reading the Bible and everything.
Oh
So
yeah.
you keep saying talking about black culture, like saying, yo, what up, what it do, what it is, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like the N-word, that's redneck culture.
Mhm.
That ain't black culture. Like let's
That,
just be
that it's you speaking on it. You
yeah,
telling
let's
them the
be
truth.
real. Let's be
Because
real.
if we really want to go into like the English language, if people really do enough history, this is my theory based upon history. It's not just based upon the assumption. Everybody who know me should know I do a lot of research. So this is
And you
my
know me
theory
too.
based on
Based on
history.
facts.
After Rome broke apart, black people ruled Europe.
Mhm.
That was our land. We didn't have and we created English. Why? Because there
Mhm.
was multiple languages: Greek, Roman, Latin. There was
Pig Latin. It was
multiple,
pig Latin. It was
yeah,
pig
Pig
Latin.
Latin, multiple
Yeah.
languages that were being spoken around that region. The Germanic languages, the heathenistic languages. There was multiple languages, and we were in captivity. So when we came out, in order to make all of us speak together,
And they couldn't
we
understand. They spoke
created
English.
English, right? So if
Yeah.
you ever go to any of the lands that was ours, where no offense to white people who watch this and gonna get frustrated with me, I'm just giving a history lesson. Ireland, right? uh, what's
Australia,
Scotland,
Scotland,
Ireland,
yeah,
all
the
the lands,
Netherlands, the
the
Netherlands, all that,
Netherlands, all of
all
that
that.
region, I believe was ours. And if you notice, they all speak some type of English.
Yes.
Scottish people even they speak English.
Even
It's a
Sweden.
Sweden people. Well, Sweden people do Swede, right?
Yeah, they do Sweden, but they speak English too. Like they
As well.
speak,
Okay.
yeah, they speak a lot of, they
And
speak both for a long period of time.
and the
A
proof
long
I
period of time.
have, the reason I can say I got that from history is because if you look it up, the Black Coat of Arms, nobody can explain the time period in which the Black Coat of Arms existed. The Black Coat of Arms obviously existed before the coat of arms that are currently in statute because they no longer exist any longer. Like there are no more royal black families of England, Scotland, Ireland any longer. So the fact that they existed before with the Black Madonnas and everything like that, that kind of proves that. And then what happened with King James, what was written at the beginning part of the Bible, also goes around it, that whole thing. So I wasn't just flipping some theory because let me tell you, it kills me when our people do that. When we just claim to be every people on the planet. And it makes it not valid when people like me say who we are. Because you got other people saying that no, the Hispanics weren't here. It was just black people. Black people were the originals in America. We were originals
Well,
everywhere. And that's when we get to do that. We were the originals in
well,
Iran. We were the originals in Iraq. When we get to do that, we discount the Hamites, the rest of the Shemites, Japheth, which at one point in time were all darker skinned people, all darker skinned people. So we
what's up, my
discount
boy?
people.
What's up, my boy? What's up, my boy?
What were you gonna say though, brother?
Yeah, but here's the thing, brother. In a way, um, they do make sense to an extent. In a way, they don't. Um, I mean, even if you go from the Caribbean and you look at a lot of Jamaicans are Taino Indians. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They super dark.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get people like me that's uh, Afro Latino, but I look mixed. But most people would think I'm black. You know what I mean? If they see me in person or talk to me, you know what I mean?
Right.
They'll think I'm just probably light skinned or black or something like that, right? But I mean, the truth is the truth. I mean, we all wasn't light skinned. That's why we had different shades of brown. Um,
But
it all
we aren't
depends
all
which.
people. You know?
No. We aren't all people. Yes, we are.
Exactly. Like the
We're not all
Greeks
people.
were known to be darker people, but we weren't the Greeks. And that's what I mean when we just
No,
claim to be
The Greeks was
everybody.
the Hamites
But you get what I'm saying. When we
and
claim to
Japheth.
be everybody else, then when I say it, you know what you get from the other counterparties. Y'all think y'all everybody. So then you can't even hear the logic behind what I'm
No,
trying to explain because you just assume based off of us literally claiming to be
no.
everybody. But that first, let me defend that because I'm a big defender of of all people, but especially mine. Um, People who lost their identity would try to identify with anybody to figure out whom they are to fit in any place. So when
But
people
Judah,
say that we identify with, we say we're everybody, we just trying to identify for most people.
but Judah's
They
the hardest one
identify
to
by color.
convince. Judah's the hardest one to convince that they Israelites. You do know that, right?
Well, that's because you gotta understand that a lot of this I call pre-slavery things, like the chains, the jewelry, all the fancy stuff that Judah do with the bling 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 blow and all of that. All of that stuff. I think we try to wear our freedom on us. We try to live our lives through other people. So if I look to you like I'm rich or famous, then I'm rich or famous, and I get that because like if you go into any place looking like this, like if I don't put something more presentable on and go into, and I just got a regular t-shirt and some shorts on, but if I go into any regular place like this, I'm previewed as the big tall black hood guy. Like I literally have to put something else on for other
Bro,
people to perceive me a certain way, even my own.
I got
So I
I got
get it.
bread. Look,
Yeah.
this hoodie old, bro, but this is my comfortable hoodie. Look. That's man, that shit don't mean nothing, man. When all that Gucci, when all that Versace shit. I mean, don't get me wrong, I wear Versace, a lot of Versace
Yeah.
frames and stuff like that, because they suit my face more. But that shit don't mean nothing, man. Like let's just be we go outside right now, though. Bro, that don't mean that them cars,
Think
bro,
about
that's
it
just so
like this though.
materialistic.
Think about it like this. For a lot of these black superstars who probably haven't been racially treated lower on the totem pole racially by people who had less than them in a very long time, right? For a lot of them, right? Because
Mhm.
they built this Hollywood financial success. If they went out without all of their things on, they could be treated just like everybody else, just like they were treated before they became that way.
They
Having
still
that
get treated
on
like
is
that,
right.
even with that
They do
success.
sometimes, but not all the time. You understand that
No,
sometimes when they
okay,
walk into place, having that on validates them. The person gonna
okay.
come up to them and treat them with more respect than if they
I'll give you
didn't
a
have
perfect
that on.
example. What's the
Yeah.
lady from Ghostbusters? The sister?
Um. I can't remember the new Ghostbusters, the one who
Yeah.
got paid less than the white lady.
She got paid. They try to offer her 67,000.
Yeah.
They offer her 150,000. Melissa McCarthy got paid $14 million. So don't tell me that racism don't still exist to this day.
No, it's not about racism. That's what this
No,
wasn't
that's what
about
I'm saying.
racism. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you see. At the end of the day, LeBron James.
Yeah.
Um, LeBron James. Let me see who else I can bring. Um, Bad Bunny, right? Bad Bunny's real popular. The Puerto Rican dude, Bad Bunny, with the weird music, with the weird. Oh, Avenel. Avenel's a little bit different because he's more gangster. He's a real gangster. But
Right.
let's just use Bad Bunny. Let's use LeBron James. Let's use J Lo,
Uh-huh.
and let's use Michael Jordan. No matter how much fame and how much money they still the N word. And Bad Bunny and J Lo, they still the S word. It doesn't change who they are.
Oh, I agree. I agree for the most part, but having wearing their money, that's the point I was getting to.
But yeah, they wear their money. But here's the thing,
Allows
though,
them to get into avenues they wouldn't be able to if they
to
didn't.
get
Allows
into.
them to get away from
Yes,
discrimination that they would have faced if they didn't. And that's what I was trying to point. I was
but
trying
they
to
still
make
face
up.
it though.
Yeah, but
They
it's
still face it.
limited. It's limited. You
It's
gotta
limited
understand.
because they no. It's
There's
limited
some
because
people who don't face. There is
no.
limited. Is some people who don't face racism at all. You like black
Yeah,
people who've grown up and never faced one racist white person in their lives. So everybody
okay.
don't feel it, but
You
them
experience
having
racism?
money. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm from one of the most racist states I think
Yeah, because Michigan, right?
ever.
Okay.
Yeah, in the country.
I never experienced racism in New York, but let me tell you where I have: Mississippi, Alabama, North Georgia, Southern Georgia, Arkansas, Oklahoma. I can't tell you how many times, my wife had to tell me, like, don't do nothing, just leave it alone. I've been called
Yeah.
the N word. I can't tell you. I can't tell you how many times I've been discriminated on. Oh, we don't
Yeah.
serve your kind here. You see what I'm saying? So, um, do that shit bother me? Nah. Did I want to do something? Yeah. Was it worth me doing something? Nah. Did I wish I did something? Yeah, if I would not get in trouble for it, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like, so when somebody sit there and say that, bro, look, bro, I'm somewhat, I'm like almost like when you put the creamer inside the coffee,
Yeah.
right? When you put the creamer inside the coffee, bro, I experienced that. You talk about a motherfucker that's darker than me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then, man, nah, man.
Oh,
If
I've
motherfuckers say that they,
experienced it a lot. I
no,
I ain't
no,
gonna hold you up. Yeah.
for a lot of motherfuckers that be saying that they experience it, that they didn't experience it, they full of shit, bro.
Well,
I'm gonna keep it
I
real with
think
you,
some people, depending on where you grow up, what area, who
bro. In New
around
York,
you,
I
you
didn't
might.
experience it,
Yeah.
but once I left New York,
Yeah. But
I
you gotta
experienced
get
it.
most people never leave their hometown. They never leave that
Yeah,
little
most people
city
don't
they
leave their
grew up
hometown. I
in.
mean, yeah,
Yeah,
I could
they
see
don't.
that,
Most people don't.
but I'm talking about
So,
people that be out and about, right?
but
So,
the
like
reason I'm
in New
saying is
York,
because for like Kodak Black, right?
mhm,
I I don't know much about his music. Uh, I ain't heard too much of him. I've heard him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I know who he is. Obviously, I see him on people talk about him on YouTube and stuff. If Kodak Black didn't dress and where would he wear? You think they would invite him anywhere? Lil Wayne. If Lil Wayne looked like a bum
no,
on the streets, right, he would get
no,
harassed in a lot of places that they normally go to on a day-to-day basis.
no,
But the wealth that those guys wear on them allows them to walk in some of the more
yes,
exotic places that they are able to. Where if a
yes.
regular average Joe was to go in there, it'd be like, who is you?
So,
You
yeah,
know,
they're not
like,
gonna experience it blatant in their face, but behind their
yeah.
back, they experience that
Oh
shit. They
yeah,
don't
for
even know it.
sure. Oh yeah,
You know what
for
I'm saying?
sure. They might know it and don't even care. You know.
Yeah. You see, a lot of people don't like me because I'm just gonna tell you what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it is what it is. I mean, I don't care. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's all opinion based and all that stuff, but we talking about facts. Like the facts of the matter is that black people ain't gonna be able to do it on their own, and Latinos ain't gonna be able to do it on their own,
Well, I
and
think
that's a fact.
people. I agree. To be honest, I think like
You're gonna need allies, brother.
the exact what you just said. I think that people in general. I think that if people don't, one of the things I look at as racist as American history is, man, and people who want to say it's not racist, like, look, y'all crazy, man. Look it up more. But it boggles me that in the 1920s when the Great Depression happened and we went through the Great Depression leading up to World War II, that was one of the most least racial tension times in certain areas, not in all, in the deep south, in certain areas. We all know what happened in Oklahoma in the 1920s. You get what I'm saying? I'm talking about in the what you know what I'm talking about, New York, Michigan, in areas that Michigan is super racist now, but at that time, in that time during the Great Depression, it actually wasn't as racist. Like there's stories about blacks and whites teaming up to survive. Like there's literally whole areas of people who would not have survived because black people had already went without. So going through the
The
Great Depression made a lot of people go without. We helped a lot of people function during that time.
the Great Depression took the colorism out and brought humanity out.
Mm-hmm. Because we needed
That's what the
each
Great
other.
Depression. Yeah,
We needed
you
each other.
one couldn't survive without the other.
It don't matter once you need it. I
Yeah,
always say that. Like all of this blackity black people or whitey white people be on the streets starving. You don't have
all
no
these
food.
Latino people, you know,
Latino,
you got,
Latino
yeah, you
people.
got to put them in
Yeah,
there
yeah,
too.
yeah. All everybody. You on the street, you starving. Stomach sticking to your ribs. You ain't ate in 4 days. You about to die. Is it gonna matter to you who come give you some food?
Not at all.
Just gonna be happy to eat when it
Yeah.
really matters. See, right now that everybody feel comfortable, it's like let's go at everybody's throat, and a lot of that is pushed by the government as well. But once
Yeah,
it
it is.
becomes to the point that you just need somebody to look out, the looking out is gonna matter more than the color and more than anything else. The looking out, the who cares,
Man, when it's time,
love for your brother, like the Bible was saying, who
bro,
actually gives you love and takes care of you in your time of hard time, it's gonna be cared. It's
if
gonna matter more.
if people ever been overseas and fought in wars and stuff like that, um, it'd be the little racism in the military too. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But when it's time for everybody to go back home, they're gonna try to make it back home. You know what I mean? Like I'm just be
Uh-huh.
honest. I'll be honest. Um, my
Like
thing
being on
is,
a football team or something.
yeah,
Like
yeah. Once we get in that locker room, is man,
it's
f them other
game
dudes. You know what
time.
I mean? Like, yeah, it's game time, man. Let's get it popping. But at the end of that, well, I don't like saying at the end of the day. I'll say this, and I'm gonna stand on this as long as I'm alive, brother. I don't care what them other people doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just care for us to get somewhat right. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
stuff like that. I know you probably gonna get them comments from some of them people like that is black culture. That ain't no damn black culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you do the research, you would know that Ebonics come from rednecks. I mean,
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
violence towards each other come from rednecks. The rednecks used to look over the slaves. So everything
Mhm.
that you say in this culture is not culture.
Yeah.
Not now rhyming, musically. Now that's culture. Can't nobody take that away. Black people like mastered music, mastered graphics. Black people mastered electricity. Black people mastered the reefer units that you see the trailers that do grocery foods.
Hmm.
It's Thermo King, but at that time the black man didn't have the money. You know what I'm saying? So he showed the white man how to do it, and they end up. You know what I mean? But it's amazing. You know what I mean? What black people have.
And
I
that's
don't want
why
to
I like
say
to go into history about that too. When you talk about like our accomplishments that we accomplished as a
it's
people,
amazing. It's
a lot
amazing.
of people don't know
America
like
wouldn't be America
that
if it wasn't
America,
for black people.
America. This is I did this project in school because I was a little bit of a search dude a long time ago though. But in America before 1921, marijuana was actually in for it. They made you grow it. A lot of
Yeah, it
people
was
don't know that.
medicinal. It was
It
medicinal.
well, they use it for everything.
Yeah, you drink it in tea and all that stuff. Yeah.
Everything. It was you could drink it, you could smoke it.
Okay.
Levi's was made out of it. Books was made out of it.
Yeah.
Bags was made out of it. Ship rope. It pretty much it spiraled businesses. A lot of people don't understand this. The same with the alcohol prohibition. Both of those things were done to stop us from making money. In the
Yes, sir.
1920s, we were making tons of money. In the 1918s, 1917s, the freed ones of us, the ones who were making had businesses legit creating towns, we're making tons of money off of marijuana. and then they turned it into something illegal. Therefore, we couldn't grow it. There goes our clothes.
Well, they
There goes it's the main
nah,
resource we use for almost everything that was made.
nah, they made it illegal because black people was profiting off of it.
Oh yeah, that's a
That's
fact. I mean, and they wanted the money.
yeah.
But one of the main pushers to make it illegal was the guy who ended up coming up with the idea to chop down trees to do the newspapers and to do everything else we've been doing with trees since then, cardboard boxes and such. You know, so
Yeah, dining room tables, sofas.
dining room table, sofa.
I mean, black. If you want to
Same
talk
with the
about black,
prohibition. Remember, we had the gambling
yeah,
scenes with the underground clubs during that
Wall
time when the
Street.
alcohol prohibition happened.
How they learned Wall Street was off of black people. What you see today as Wall Street.
Oh, you
That was
said how
done.
they got it together was from
How they
black
got it
people?
today in Wall Street. They
Oh,
learned
oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah, they learned that from black people, bro.
Well, I could fully. I feel like it wouldn't exist without us because we were actually the first commodity traded across the world was black people.
Well, it's like Black Wall Street. Like they only talk about Oklahoma, but there was multiple Black Wall Streets. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It wasn't just Tulsa, Oklahoma. But people don't
But
even understand that the pictures that you see of Tulsa, Oklahoma, that
yeah,
was after it was destroyed. When you see all the black businesses and all that there, that
yeah,
was after that was new. When you see the people there, it got destroyed before that, and then you see what I'm saying? What they did is they whitewashed the shit. You know what I'm saying? With the history, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. I mean, black people got it bad, bro. Like we just got to be honest, bro. Black people always had it bad. You know what I mean? And yes, I am Latino, just in case, if, you know what I mean? And this, that, and the third. But I'm sorry, I didn't know I was Latino until I left New York. I always thought I was black, and still to this day, I still think that I'm black. You know
well,
what
I
I
think
mean?
that goes over the reaching issue is that what I'll be explaining to brothers and sisters sometime is that the color black that has nothing to do with us, man. That's a byword and a proverb that was
Yeah.
placed on us. Black, African American, Negro, all these different things they don't describe us. They didn't.
Well, my birth certificate says Afro Latino.
Yeah, so yeah, like all of these different things, they don't. As a matter of fact, I will counter that with a lot of these things are things they created up. America is from Americo Vespucci. Africa is another term. Like all of these things are things that we didn't even have a choice of what's.
Yeah.
So I don't, especially they're all byword and proverbs. So I feel like that's the overreaching issue. It's not just black, like literally it's Yasharala. It's the Judah and Yasharala, and we need to come back together and become just Yasharala. Or Yahuda, as some people
Oh
say,
yeah, I would. Yeah.
Yasharala. Yeah, but we need to come back together and just become the one Yasharala again, and that means that we would have to drop that whole colorism, the whole black thing. I get that that's what they label us, but it's crazy that we've taken pride in things that we've been labeled.
Well, no, it went from the N word to the coon to the black man to the African American. Yeah, I mean, it's been so many names.
Yeah.
I think by what we in 2024, 2023, by 2025, I don't know what they're gonna be calling them. You know what I mean? They're gonna be calling black people some other thing. You know what I mean? Like
Well, I think about 2025, they might just call us the truth. Those are God's people. That's Israel right there. It might just
yeah. I mean,
might just
if
be out by then, God willing. Because what the Bible say, once this gospel reaches the
let me
four
see.
corners of the earth, then the end will come. So hey,
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think how I'm gonna say it. You can't refute it.
yeah,
You just can't. I mean, um, I see people that come up with these weird. I don't know though. These weird. Some of these people in Christianity
oh
come up
yeah,
with these weird, and I'm like, yo, fam, like, fam, Bro, that's archaeology, man. You can go back. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that the Bible says, word for word, you can tell these people went through exactly that. There's no denying that. You can't
Like
deny it.
even modern prophecies, man. They talk
Yeah,
about
you can't deny it.
that the young man would be on the corners like wild bulls. Like, man, come on.
Yeah, you can't
What do
deny it.
you call young kids on the corner? Buck wild. Them boys out there acting wild. They acting buck wild.
But
Bulls buck. So people don't even catch that. Like all these prophecies that the Bible put that said it would happen at the end times, we're fulfilling.
yeah, we're fulfilling right now. This is the end
We're
times right
fulfilling.
now.
I
Yeah.
mean, it started. Some of them started like that Buck Wild thing. That really started like in our era, your era, my
But
era, when we before technology, when we
yeah,
was
before
literally
technology.
on that corner all day.
Yeah.
Remember, there'd be 100 people at the stop sign.
Hey man. Hey man, I had them 2 for 5s, you know what I mean? Red top, yellow top, you know what I mean? Like, God forgive me, man. That's the most high forgive me, man.
Well, they made it like illegal to do that now in Detroit, where like the police would come and try to break up the crowds because they want Detroit to be, the money. So they want you to go to one of these places, spend your money there because
They
in the city we would literally just pull up at a parking lot and just be like,
hang
hey,
out.
or like, yeah, hey, it's an
It's a
open
club.
lot. You see 3 or
Yeah.
4 cars. Next thing you know, it's 20, 30 cars, and everybody just
But
go to Shady Side Park or go to Chandler Park or
I'm
anything like
actually
that. So
I'm actually shocked how Detroit has come a long way, man.
you said which? Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Detroit,
From where it was at, yeah,
yeah,
for
Detroit,
sure.
Detroit.
Yeah.
Very
I mean, when
impressive.
they had houses for $200 a piece, that time.
Yeah, yeah, Detroit came along. But I remember, boy, I ain't gonna even speak on it, but Detroit used to be one of them places, boy. You better not stop at that light at boy. You better not
Hey,
stop
to
at
be
that light.
honest, you still bet if you going in there, I would keep that same energy. If you
No,
leave from
I'm
downtown
nah,
and you
yeah,
not
yeah. I'm
used to
away
the
from yeah,
city,
yeah, yeah.
don't
Hey,
just do no regular
man, I ain't
stops,
going
man.
man, I ain't going down Joy Road or nothing like that at night. You got
Yeah,
your rabbit ass
exactly. You
mind.
you see a bunch of
Yeah,
people at the gas
man,
station,
8 Mile and all
listen,
that. Depends where you
walking
at on 8 Mile.
walking
Mm-mm.
around the gas station too. You see a bunch of people.
Nah.
Look, bruh. I don't care if it's daytime. Don't hey, you don't know that area. Don't stop, man.
Man,
Just
I was born that night, but not last
roll
night.
through. Yeah. Hey,
That's
I
like
keep them
Chicago.
principles. I keep them principles everywhere I go, bro. Let me pull up in some place in Houston, and I just see 50 people walking around in one big group in a by the gas station. I'm not stopping. I'm going to the
A-
next one, bro. It's
And
just for
and
my
if
own safety. I
and
don't
if
know
you
them
don't
folks.
see and if you don't see a soul in sight, don't go to that one either. Cause it ain't gonna happen to you. Houston
It's
is
an
buck
empty
wild.
one. Oh yeah, Houston is
Houston is
crazy.
buck wild, man.
Yeah.
Houston, but I love it here, man. I love it here. But
Well,
the people
because
show you,
it's actually so chill. For it to be
yeah,
so wild, it's so chill. Most people here are real chill. Like it's not a lot of like everybody don't have to walk around with the tough guy thing. Like
nah.
it's some dudes who just real chill. I guess Southern hospitality still exists in Houston.
Yeah,
So
and over here, um, everybody named Mama got that thing on them.
oh
So
yeah. Oh yeah.
tread
For
lightly.
sure.
They might be smiling, but you want to tread lightly
Oh
over
yeah.
here.
Oh,
Be
and it ain't
careful.
even about the gun. These is some
Mm-mm.
country bumpkin people, man. They'd be done took you out to the back of
Back
the
of
alley somewhere and wanted
yeah,
to
featured
fight
to
for
them
5
Gators.
hours. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
featured to
talking
them
about
Gators back there.
old school fisticuffs for 4 to 5 hours. You better be careful messing around with some of these dudes. It's a lot of boxing
Yeah,
gyms and stuff out here. It's a lot of people that
yeah. A
box
lot of these
for
brothers,
fun. And like that's just what
they
they enjoy
box.
to do for fun. Yeah, man.
They do jiu-jitsu and all that. A lot of these brothers, you think it's some hood brother boy, and you thinking like, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
about to do
kick
him
your
dirty.
damn
And
kneecap out. Yeah.
man, these dudes, man, Houston a different world, man. Like they do, and they'll
Yeah.
fight you. They love to fight. They'll
Yeah.
fight you quick. They'll
Yeah,
fight you
they
quick
will.
before they shoot you.
Yeah, they'll fight more
Yeah,
likely unless you're dealing with one of those pups, the
yeah,
young pups.
the young bulls. Yeah, the young
Most
bulls.
likely they'll fight you before they'll shoot you. Where in
Yeah,
the city, you don't know. In the city, you
yeah,
kind of just got to be on the edge yourself because you don't know. It might not. You might start off like y'all talking like y'all about to fight, and as soon as you go outside, it's pop trunk. So you just never know. Where in
yeah,
Houston, it's you way more likely they'll fight you. But be careful, 'cause it's a lot of little bit of our brothers, the smaller Hispanics and stuff.
yeah,
Some of
bro.
them guys
They
will take you out, bruh. My
quick.
last apartment, man, they got into a fight over the parking lot, over a parking spot. Little Hispanic guy shot the other guy. Lost the fight,
Yeah,
went in his house, grabbed the gun, killed him right on the spot.
yeah.
So
The younger ones,
be
the younger ones
careful.
is yeah. They will do it.
Yeah, these
They ain't
young
gonna play
guys,
with you.
because it's embarrassing, man. You know,
Yeah.
when we fought, you just fought, it was over. Y'all have a beer or talk about it
The whole
later.
point is that you fought.
Yeah, the whole point
That's
was to
it.
get it off your chest and
Yeah,
to be
yeah. So that's
friends
it. After
again.
that,
To be
we're gonna
honest, to
eat.
be cool again or to have some type of respect for each other. Because
Yeah,
whether
we're
you
gonna
lose
eat
or win,
barbecue and keep it
yeah,
pushing.
you gotta
You know what I
respect
mean?
the person for standing on his, whether you lost or won.
Whether you
And
lost
that's
or not, he still
yeah.
fought.
Where in this next era, if you lose, you weep. Oh, that's something we gotta discuss. In this next era, this before we get off, because my back is killing me. In this next era, if you aren't perfect, you're weak. You suck. If you do bad at anything, you're horrible. And it kills me. I wanted to discuss this last because it kills me because how do you get good at anything if every time you do something you suck? Don't you gotta
Yeah.
fail before you succeed? Like
Well,
everything
I
I
don't look
got
at
good at, I didn't
I
start
don't
off good. It took me messing up a couple times.
I don't look at it as failure. I look at it as lessons.
Right, lesson.
There's no such thing as failure to me. It's
But
lessons.
you get how I'm using it because right
Yeah,
now, if
yeah,
you fail is considered a meme, right? You're a joke.
yeah,
You
yeah,
failed. We're like,
yeah,
how
yeah.
do you
I'm talking
succeed
about
without failing, right? Without
yeah.
messing up or coming short sometime. How do
You
you?
gotta come. You gotta come short, brother. Otherwise, if it goes like this, right, the whole time,
Yeah,
it's gonna hit hard, right? Sometimes
yeah,
you're gonna get these, right? You'll get these little ones. But if you go like this, it's gonna the same way it goes up, it goes down fast. You know what I mean? The same thing with business. You know what I mean? It's no different than business and all that stuff. You know what I mean? But it's crazy, like with these younger brothers, man, and like yeah, it is, man. You gotta fail, bro. You gotta pay your dues. It's called paying your dues.
that's what I
Uh,
was saying. Like,
yeah,
you're
it's
not
called paying
gonna
your
hop
dues,
out the womb being 6'8", dribbling the ball and shooting 3-pointers from half court. Like all of that take trying. Your first couple hundred shots, you might not even hit the rim. It's just, you got to.
bro. Yeah, young brothers jumping off the porch when y'all don't even have to, man. We live in a time where you can make money off of social media and all that stuff. You don't even gotta jump off the porch. For real, for real. Um, Chasing cloud and whoever popped that thing and
Well, I
see
think
you don't get
it's
no
also
honor.
about their pride, though. You know,
Yeah, it is
a
their
lot
pride,
of
but they
these
don't
people, I feel like we live in a generation like, wasn't it a movie called The Attack of the Nerds or something like that?
revenge of the nerves.
Revenge of the Nerds. Like we live in the era of Revenge of the Nerds. Like I feel like all the most popular people and stuff would most likely have been nerds in the '90s or early 2000s, and we kind of live
Um,
in the era of the Revenge of the Nerds. So, it, in
the thing is,
what the
they don't get
Bible
the
says.
recognition. They thinking they're getting recognition for it,
Oh,
right?
you
Being the
talking
tough
about?
guy,
Yeah,
being the tough. You see, back in the days, people would be like, "Yo, you don't want to mess with that dude because that dude." You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Now we're so rampant that the jails, bro, they're about to open, I think, like 250 more prisons. You know what I mean? So just
Yeah.
make sure that you know that. Look, I just seen a video of a dude that he had 4 months left and broke out of prison, and now he got 40 years after doing a 7-year stint. What sense do that make?
Dang.
That brother needed some help,
Mhm.
obviously. You know what I'm saying? That brother needed some help. It just doesn't make sense. You better, cause time to call it a day. Cause I already see you leaning this way, leaning that way, leaning this way.
Yeah. Yeah, I am, man. I'm like, oh man.
But it was a
It's
good
gonna be.
conversation though. But you got another live coming up anyway.
Yeah, I got my video coming tonight and tomorrow. I think it's crazy because tomorrow's video goes over some of the things we discussed today about the Christians
All praises to the Most
coming at the
High.
Bruce. Yeah, so
Yeah, that's got to
Kaula
stop.
Haya. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's I hopefully it was a black Christian brother too.
Yeah,
And like I tried to point out some things that so hopefully I hope he
that's,
watched the video on Friday, man. I hope he get the message.
I seen Gorilla with a Jamaican brother. I was like, I ain't going to believe what you want, but let me tell you something. It's the end days. I want you to know that. You better, what I say every time, you better choose the right side.
Oh, yeah.
Shalom and Barakatah. Much love, honor, and respect to everybody. All praises to the Most High and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Hashem Shah. Barakatah.
All right, Shalom, Barakatah, everybody.
Shalom. Peace and love, everybody.
Okay.